How's everybody doing? Mark here from Mark Builds Bricks. We have another brand new Lumibricks set that we're going to be putting together. This is the Waterfall Cabin. L9083 is the set number, and it's just a little over 2,593 pieces of awesomeness. Typical review that we're going to jump in. We're going to go stage by stage. I'll give you my thoughts and show you at each stage of the build of how everything is going through. And Lumibricks, I'm just going to say right now, you knocked that out of the park with this one again. This was absolutely a fantastic build. So comment and subscribe like we always ask you to do. And again, if you wish to purchase this set, you can. There's a affiliation link in the description for you to jump out and grab this set from Lumibricks directly. Until then, let's jump into the review and check out each stage as we go.
Welcome.
So here we have the manuals that come with this Waterfall Cabin, and there are two of them. It's not just one humongously thick book here. It's actually two humongously thick books to basically build out this set. Absolutely fantastic. Let's look at the first book. As you can see, fantastic image of a set right there. We have a really cool, down at this corner, Waterfall Cabin logo and stuff like that, part of the Retro House series, which is really cool. We got two QR codes on this side with the book number 1. QR codes are pointing to the English and Asian dialect digital manual if you wish to use the digital, and of course fantastic Lumibricks logo, Waterfall Cabin, L9083, 2,539 pieces and 16 above. So there we have it. Looking inside the first book, typical about Lumibricks, in 2 languages now in the new books. As you can see, it's not just 1 language anymore. It's actually 2 languages going forward. So a lot of stuff you'll find in here are bilingual. Also, Lumibricks has also added those Asian dialects in the pages. So you might see extra pages in the manuals, especially in the safety area and how to check your lights and the batteries and stuff like that. But another fantastic picture of the guy on the bamboo raft as well. A little story montage with photos inside this as well, and then it goes through typical of the battery packs, the extra checking your lights and stuff like that, what comes in each bag. As I said, some extra pages for this because of the English and Asian dialect throughout this whole thing, and as well safety. Please don't eat the damn parts. Just don't eat them. So there you have it. How to use the brick separator as well. And then it goes into bags 1 to 6. Pretty much builds this out, and which is basically the whole start of the book. Images, colors, everything throughout the build. The stud counts, absolutely top notch. I did not find anything anywhere, even with the wire management and how the things were guided through. No issues whatsoever. I even had my glasses on for this. It was such a smooth and fun build. I really can't complain about anything from this at all. So there you have it. That's the first book. We go into the second manual of the beast. Again, QR codes here at the bottom for the second book in English and in Asian language. Going back in, another interesting about some of the printed pieces in here if you want to read about them. So I actually kind of like this, that it gives you those translations and what they're about. So that's pretty cool. Another fantastic image on this side of the book with all the lights on, just fantastic. And then again, starting from bag 7 and on is the rest of the build of this whole cabin going through. But as I said, absolutely fantastic build, no issues whatsoever. Everything was really straightforward. It was the images and everything was all color coded nicely. I love the stud count. Pieces just went together so smoothly. This time everything is done with the battery at the very end. You can pop the battery box out and put the batteries in it if you wish to check everything out before you go. But connecting your power up is basically almost the very last step of the build, which hides very nicely underneath a cabin. And then you have the little things to decorate around with some trees and the bamboo raft to deal with, and then you get a completed, and of course you get other retro house sets that you can get, but no Easter eggs of nothing else coming out. But that's manual 2 and that's manual 1. You gotta build this one. Right, we have completed the first stage of this fantastic waterfall cabin. And I gotta say this right off the bat. Make sure you have some display space in your Lumibricks cabin area or retro house area, because where my hands are right now, that's 32 by 32. So that's how much extra is added on to this set. So this is going to be a decent sized footprint, but already, as you notice, we already have a jumper, or basically a central connector for the power cords. We do have a light out in this area, nice little green light here. We don't know if it's going to pulse or anything, but basically that wire basically runs through here and then angles over to here. We have a nice lily pad with a flower and another lily pad with a flower over here, both with lights, and they also connect into this area. And we have a nice little lily pad out in the water. Structure, interesting, going to be fascinating how Aus goes into this build going forward. Looks like the next stage is building up the rock cliff area for the waterfall, probably. And get some space. Just knock everything else off the shelf. Make room for this absolutely awesome set. All right, another stage completed, stage 2, and a lot has been happening. As you can see, we have been building up the structure and everything for the main cliff where the waterfall is going to be coming down, which is going to be in this area. As well, as you can see, we have gears that turn, and we also have a light. So the waterfall is going to move at this stage, as well as going to be lit up from the behind, which is going to look really cool. More light and wire management throughout, which is really cool. As well, here is a view of the back, the structure and everything. It is looking really good. We do have some more lights out this end that we need to attach. We do have some nice little green and dark gray with the light. A couple of little flowers are in place as well. It is looking good and going together super smoothly. So another stage completed, bags 3, and it is more some technic mechanisms and building up a first section of the waterfall. As you can see, we have the first stage of the waterfall here. There are some gears inside here that are all connected into the top part of this. There is another section down a little bit lower that actually turns, but we don't need the gears to activate that. It just keeps the waterfall in line as it turns. So that is pretty good. But we got 1, 2, 3 gears in here, and then we have a gear assembly that comes out here, and then in this section be the bottom part of the next part of the waterfall for the turn. But everything is connected to a nice little knob here in the back with the 2 gears, and this rotates so smooth. Like this, I even made sure the gears were not too tight or anything like that. This is either direction, so smooth, as you can see. So I'm pretty freaking impressed. Also, there is a light behind here, so this is going to light up as well. We do have another light that's here at the top, which I believe this is going to light up the top part of the waterfall. So it's a one section into one section and down into the water down here at the bottom. And again, the cabin's going to sit basically right about here. Now, I did have a comment earlier about the actual base plate and how much of the stud footprint it takes up, because it is bigger than 32 by 32. So this is officially 38 studs by 42 studs. So that will help you out if you wish to mills plate this. And again, take in mind, there's rounded corners here on the ends. And this little area protrudes out about 2 studs on this side as well. But that takes into account, so it's 40, what is it again? 38 by 42, which takes care of all of this into one little area. All right, so we have another waterfall completed. So stage 4 is basically building up this top waterfall up in this section here. So it's basically you build half this area and then you start building out the waterfall. You get the waterfall in place. There is a light in there as well to light up all these awesome transparent plates. Once you've got that in place, but you don't have it attached, then you start building up the back of this area. And then once that's all in place, then you attach it, finish off the top, and now it is solidly in place. And look how smooth that turns. There's no issues whatsoever. I can go back and forth at a decent speed, as you can see. I'm really going. but it's just, I haven't had it. I couldn't jam it if I could. The only time this is going to jam is if one of these plates accidentally falls off. But so far, this looks awesome. This is going to look so good when it's lit up. But that is the bulk of this stage, is basically finishing off the top tier waterfall area. And I think we're dressing up the cliff, the mountain area of some more in the next stage. And probably towards the last half of this build is basically the cabin itself. But all in all, Lumibricks, this is absolutely fantastic. All right, stage 5 completed, and it is more dressing up the rock face around this main waterfall down here. It's basically, we strengthen up this one by finishing up the walls and stuff like that, but we haven't dressed anything up here. But we did finish this top panel. So you get the waterfall that looks like it's flowing into here and then dropping down here. But now we have a whole nicely dressed up rock face. We got some vegetation hanging off the corner as well. And we did some wrapping around to this side of the build as well. So that is pretty much it for this stage of the game. As I said, this stage and the next stage is more or less doing the rock faces to dress up the waterfalls and everything before we tackle the actual cabin, which is going to sit right around this area. But it's going together smoothly and it works so well. All right, at this stage of the game, which is stage 6, you have completed the first of the 2 manuals that come with the set. So the bulk of the first manual is, of course, the base, getting all this nice water in, getting some of the lights connected into place as well, building out this fantastic rock structure of also the mechanism for the waterfall to turn. As you can see, it turns nice and smooth, both that level and the top level itself. So going really smoothly. There are lights behind it, as I mentioned before, but as you can see, nice rock face all completed up nicely. Of course, the cabin is going to go right here, so we're not going to be putting too much in front of this area of the rock face because it's going to be behind the actual cabin. We got some nice dress up work which wraps around to this side. Of course, here's the main turning knob to turn the waterfall in the main gear. And then you come to this side, got waterfall into a nice little splash into the waterfall, and down to the front it goes. So there you have it. That is the completed first book of the 2 manuals that you do get. Again, the base is a 30... I had it written down here. It's 38 studs by 42 studs. That's the base of this. So definitely bigger than 32 by 32. And make some room on your shelf for this. That's all I got to say. Hey, stage 7 completed. Super smooth build. Everything's going together so smoothly. Something has to happen. It has to go wrong. But it did. Has nothing to do with the set. In the build video, when you see the build video, I will be skipping stage 7 in the build video because the video got corrupted when it was saved. So my apologies to that, but here is stage 7 completed. It's basically the base of the little cabin that's going to be in front of the waterfall. So you build up the base, get it all in place, and then you start furnishing all the cool little furnishings as you can see here. We got a printed envelope on the little table, some nice little carpeting. We got a nice little swivel chair here. A couch can swivel a bit, and as well we have a nice little, looks like a recliner or a rocking chair. We've got some vegetation, plants growing over here on this shelf. We have a fish, knife, steak, pan, oven, and stuff like that in the cooking area. And then we do have either the fridge or whatever you wish to call this with a couple of things on top. So there you have it. That is the bulk of stage 7, is basically building this up. Also, so wire management underneath the base of the cabin to get this all nicely coming up, because this is going to probably light up inside the cabin. And also we have another extra jumper cable that we've connected to connectors on this side of the set. So this is also going to be placed somewhere to get some power to the set. So other than the video getting oopsed in the build video, this is going super smooth. Okay, stage 8 is completed of this waterfall cabin. More of the deck work out front of the cabin. The cabin's not going to be very big. It's going to be a smaller type cabin, it looks like, because I believe this is where the walls and the door will end up going through. We have a nice circular or angled step up which is pretty cool. But a nice big deck is the bulk of what we built in this section. Some little more decoration of some flowers, some little table with a cup on it, and a few things on this side. Some vegetation down on the bottom, another lily pad as well on here, another brace in this area, and a small little piece there. But that is the bulk. It's just basically building out this deck and getting the stairwell all set up for getting into the cabin. So far, that is it. And we've got, what, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 sets of bags. So we're almost there. We're about 3/4 through the build. So we've got walls. Stage 9 completed in this build. We're going to keep it zoomed in. So we have a nice back wall. It's got some printed artwork on the back wall as well. We have an interesting character on this one. This one's pretty cool. Sidewall on this side and a sidewall on this side has been built. The one on this side does open up. We do have a bookshelf type scenario. We got a printed clock. We got a little print on here saying memory. There's 3 printed pieces in this section as well. Plus we have some Asian artwork on the printed piece on the side here, but it opens and closes fairly smoothly. On this side of the build, we have a nice bay window, which wraps around where this little table and cup is on the side. So pretty cool. So that's the bulk of this stage, is building out the back wall and the 2 side walls for this part of the build. It's looking good. Looks like we're going to have a second floor of some sort, just because the way the studs are landing, and we still have a power jumper as well to go upstairs. So stay tuned for that. But that's it. It's looking good. Another stage completed. This is stage 10, and it's mostly focusing on the front of the cabin. As you can see, we have the whole front wall put in place. We also have 2 lights that are all wired in nicely. We got some drapes or curtains on each side. We got another printed piece on the inside with some Asian artwork. We do have some nice little printed pieces here on these burgundy curved pieces that give a little detail on the bench. And we also have a nice little easel with a printed piece of something that it's been somebody that's been doing some artwork and stuff like that. And of course, over on this corner, we do have a camera. So that is the bulk of dressing up the front, as well as structuring proof above this side opening wall as well. So we get this all in place, as well as putting in the power cable and also hiding the wire. Here's a good view of it, hiding the wire with a little bit of vegetation. And so this was a good idea. I really like the way they did this. You still see the wire at the bottom and a little bit at the top, but the bulk of it is covered by that little greenery, which looks good, and it gives them a little bit of detail at the back of the cabin as well. So there you have it. That is the quick stage 10. All right, stage 11 completed, and we've started the second floor of this little waterfall cabin. Lots of cool details, as you can see right away. We've got some printed pieces, a nice little printed rug. We got a little memo here, and a nice little, I guess, postcard with a butterfly and stuff like that. Bed, we got a little side table drawer and a type of table and stuff like that. And a quiet little seating area with a little small table with a cup. Also, underneath, we've set up 2 lights so far, and we circled through the light wiring through this hole and looped it around, and we got the power jumper in here, which is going to connect to the bottom or the main floor, so it's going to bring the power up to this floor. And we still have a couple of more lights to attach going forward, or looks like at least one more light, and then connect this connector to another light source. That's probably going to be attached into the roof of the second floor. But that is the bulk of this part of the build. It looks pretty good. It's a nice little detail inside of a small little footprint. So it's looking pretty good. All right, we're back, and we are getting so close to finishing this fantastic build of the Waterfall Cabin. Lumibricks, this is absolutely fantastic. Top second floor is attached to the main floor of the cabin. As you can see, we got some really great details. We got some wiring in place for the lights that's going to light up the top floor, and it also looks kind of nice on this side, because this side the wall opens up, so it actually looks really good like that, even though it's just a plain wall and there's no decoration there, but there's enough detail and to show that there is a nice hidden opening that you can open up in there. Everything else inside looks really good. It's attached in place. We already mentioned about the cool little printed pieces. We got a nice good beam across to keep everything nice and secure in place. And on this side, you can see how fantastic it looks on this side with the bay window just underneath the small little window up here. Pretty cool. No stairwell. It's a ladder that's inside that actually your little minifig will climb up the ladder to get to the second floor. So it's like a loft type style of a cabin. I do remember the days, friends of ours, they had a cottage that had a ladder up to the loft area as well. So I can relate to the way this is designed. But we didn't have a giant waterfall behind us, which would have been cool. Or who knows what would happen. We're getting into the last stage. So let's get into it so we can get our final thoughts into this whole build and maybe display this with a couple other cabin sets. We have completed this absolutely fantastic waterfall cabin, as you can see. It all of its glory. It's all in place. The roof looks awesome. We've got everything in there. It is looking so good. This was such a smooth build as well. I really can't complain anywhere throughout this build at all. The only one thing that didn't go smooth, which you might see in my build video, is one of my build videos got corrupted while it's saved, so we will miss a step. But other than that, there was nothing wrong with this at all. All the bricks went together like butter, like they normally do. It is such a great build. Also, just a heads up, this is also, if you're looking for the stud dimension of everything, it is a 42 stud by 38 stud. So that is going to be your base plate if you're going to try to mills plate this for your system. Just also be on the heads up, there's rounded corners at the front, but everything else is squared off. And we have just like 2 stud little protruded area on this side, which I did count for the stud counts. So the stud count will actually bring everything out a little further than this, just to let you know in the front. But we need to see this with the lights on. So we come to this side, we turn on the power box, and look at that. Look how awesome that looks. And the water pulses. So I didn't know that the actual light, the 2 lights that are going to be behind the waterfall actually pulses. So that is actually really cool. Water works so smooth, as you can see. It is such a smooth build. In fact, let's zoom in a little bit for you here. There you go. Now you get a nice good view of this. Look at that water go. Super smooth. You can go almost any speed, as you can see. I'm going back and forth fairly quickly. No jams, no nothing. The gears just work super smooth. Stay tuned to the end of the video. I do have a small modification just to show you, which will be pretty cool. Let's go to this part of the rock face. As you can see, the waterfall smoothly drops into that bottom area, which looks really good. And we got some nice tree vegetation. We got a nice little bird and stuff like that. We got a nice little back rock face. We got some air gaps, so you can actually see everything turning by this knob right here. So you can see everything turning through the structure on how it works. So that's pretty cool. Coming across this side of the rock face, as I mentioned before, the facade of the rock face looks really good. While we're on this angle, we do have the roof here. We do have a nice little trapdoor skylight opening. This roof also just pops right off. It's really not attached, so you can actually slide the roof right out, so you can see everything inside on the top floor and stuff like that. So very easy, just popping it back into place, and then boom, it's in there. This top piece is just on 4 studs. That's got the birds in the center and stuff. And then you've got a really nice angled roof with a nice little gable coming off the front, where there's a nice little sitting area inside that part as well. And again, earlier in the video, you saw all the details inside of this as you go through. You can pop the top part of the second floor off. It is modular. It does come right off, and you won't have to worry about it. There is a power jumper that connects to power from the bottom to the top, and there's really no wires that hang, so you can actually just pick the whole roof second floor right off if you wish to. Coming around to the front of the cabin, we do have one of our bigger minifigs in this section. I love the curved stairwell into the water, and with the lily pads, we got a couple lily pads lit up. We got nice clear windows. which you can see right through very nicely. And we got some nice printed pieces throughout this build as you go through. Second minifigure over here on the bamboo raft, which is going pretty cool on that side. Now, let's come to this side of the building. I know it's kind of dull, but it does open up. So we do grab the little door handle and we can open it up. So you actually have some really cool things on the wall that go with some printed pieces, books, frame, and a clock. And you can see right in very awesomely. I will take my other camera and we'll do a little zooming in and out at the end of the video as well. So you'll see a nice little montage of all that instead of me trying to lift this up all over the place. Look where the battery box goes. It just slides right in underneath the cabin, out of the way. USB connected as well. So if you want to connect this to a giant USB power bar, so all your sets are connected up, go right ahead. It works that way as well. But basically, pop that right in there, hides out of the way, and you got easy access to the switch, which is no problem at all. Coming to this side, which is a pretty cool looking side of the building as well. You can see the lights coming through that really nice bay window and the upstairs window as well. Lots of cool details throughout. And again, we went through all the details during each stage of the build. But the overall look for this, absolutely fantastic. I think that Lumibricks knocked this one out of the park again. It is a fantastic set. Do I recommend it? Fully. If you wish to purchase this, we are Lumibricks affiliated, so in the link's description, there will be a direct affiliate link to this set as well. If it's not on sale, there is a 10% cheeky discount code for you, which is MBB10. By all means, use that for anything else you wish to. And of course, while using that affiliate link to buy other things on Lumibricks, you're also supporting this channel, so thank you very much. Until then, comment and subscribe, and we've got a ton of Lumibricks stuff coming, so stay tuned and you don't want to miss any of this. Thanks for watching. All right, so we're back. We're not 100% finished this video. I wanted to add a little modification that I did just for fun and to see what else you can do, because there's a lot of cool powered things that you can do with this. And since the lights are on and we have the water, why not make the back of the water go on its own? So I attached a motor to the waterfall, and yes, my water is going defying gravity. It is going up. It's just because the motor rod that I grabbed right at the moment only goes left, and the way that I've got it set up in the back here with the gears, it turns to the left, so everything's going backwards. So I just have to reverse some things to get the motor to work correctly, or find a motor that is right-handed motor that goes the opposite way, and then set things up and it'll be perfectly smooth. Now I'm going to turn this very slightly just so you can see what I'm using in the back here. So what I'm using, and some of you might be already familiar with this, I took this from another set. I'm hiding the brand on the back at the moment, but I took the motor, set it up on some Technic blocks to line everything up nice and smooth, and connect it to another USB power bank, and there you have it. It is now moving my water in the waterfall. So I just thought give you an extra idea of what you can do with this set if you want it automated waterfall. So again, like, comment, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.